We're talking about medical astrology. This is what we came here for. So we're going to be talking about, for the next hour, your health in 2024. And we're going to be talking about how your health can be impacted in 2024, what to look out for, how to be more proactive versus reactive when it comes to our health. Now, I have two disclaimers before we get started. The first disclaimer is I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I am not a nurse practitioner. I am not a physician assistant, CNA, nurses assistant, none of that. I have no medical background, no medical formal education in medicine whatsoever. I do not dispense medical advice at all. And I will always say, when we're talking about anything that has to do with astrology and we talk about anything that has to do with your health, please defer to your primary care physician before engaging in anything changes, anything new that you want to get into where it comes to your health and also your mental health. That is the primary default that you need to go to. So again, I am not dispensing any medical advice. Do not come back here saying that Sonya said I should be doing this. And no, that's not what I'm saying. So please consult your doctor before you begin or start changing anything that has to do with your health. Okay. Second thing is, I am not a medical astrologer. Now, there are multiple divisions of astrology, and there are astrologers that focus strictly on medical astrology because medical astrology is a thing. That is not my primary focus. You know, my primary focus is love and money. However, I can give you some general information with regards to medical astrology. Now, if that is something that you want to dive further in and, research more for yourself, I would advise you to seek out an astrologer that specializes in medical astrology. Okay. So, I can do basic stuff. That's it. I'm not now. Find you someone that specializes in there because they are out there. So with those two things being said, tonight we're going to just talk about, in general, like I said, things that could be coming up for you or things that you actually may already be experiencing by way of your health for 2024. It's actually going to go past 2024, going to go into a little bit of 2026. So you're about to get an some extended information for an extended period of time around your health. So does everyone have their rising sign? Because any astrological content, whether it's mine or anybody else's, we are focusing on your rising sign first. Because as I tell you always, your rising sign is what is energetically going on with you and around you in real time. This is the experiences and the information and things that are going on. Yay! I got my Scorpio rising, I got a Leo rising. Leo rising, we are twin flames. We are both Leo risings. And I got a Sagittarius rising. So that's why it's important, because this is going to be, the rising sign is going to be picking up on what is energetically going on with you in real time and the experiences that you are having. My cousin's a Sagittarius rising too. Now, you also want to listen for your sun sign, but that is your secondary sign. So you're going to listen for your rising sign first, and you can also listen for your sun sign. And if you want to go a little bit step further, you can listen for your moon sign, because your moon sign is what's going to be what you're going to be experiencing more on an internal level. But for tonight's live, being medical astrology, being a very specific area, I think the rising sign is going to be the sign that is going to be more beneficial to you. My mom is on my Facebook Live, and I'm gonna tell you, she's a Gemini rising. She doesn't know that, but I'm just putting it out there. So when I talk about Gemini, I'll be talking about her too. All right. So, does anyone have any questions before we get started? And I got all my notes here. I got a diagram here because, again, like I said, I am not an expert in medical astrology. So I had to look up a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to be reading from my notes that I made to make sure I understood what all of these different things in the body that we're going to be discussing. Now, we ain't going to go into a lot of detail. I can tell you that too. Now, there's some things that you will need to research. I love to give homework. So I'm not going to go into great detail about a lot of this stuff. Some of this stuff is very foreign to me, so I had to actually go and read about it. So I am going to task you with doing your own research, because when it comes to medical astrology, I feel like you should be doing your own research, because this is your body and this is your health. So please don't, I'm not gonna take that responsibility. This is gonna be something that you need to further research and talk with your doctor about. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. So tonight's topic is medical astrology. We're going to be talking about how your health, both mental and physical health, can be impacted for the year 2024 and actually going into the year of 2026. Because again, as I said before, this is going to be a very, very long cycle based on the planet Saturn. So what we're going to be talking about when we get into the individual signs is I'm going to give you what I consider the primary area that you need to be focused on. And then I'm also going to give you a secondary area that could come up as well. So you can actually, again, like I said, be more proactive as opposed to reactive with regards to this information. So let's start. Where do I want to start with this? Okay, let's start with when this cycle started. Now, I'm a little bit late on giving you this information because this cycle actually started March 7th of this year. So some of you, when we go over the rising signs, could very well already be experiencing some of these things with regards to your health. So you may not be surprised when you hear me say something about a health situation or something that maybe be concerning you or been on your mind, and you're going to probably say, well, you know what, I already been experiencing that. That started like the first of the year, and that's something that has been a concern of mine or something that I'm dealing with. So what I'm talking about is the planet Saturn. So when we talk about the planet Saturn, we consider Saturn the planet of duty, the planet of restriction, the planet of responsibility. The Saturn can, when it goes into a house, it typically stays there for about 2.5 years. So this is the transiting planet, when it's making its orbit. So when it gets to a house, or, there's 12 houses in astrology that represent 12 areas of our life. When Saturn is in any given house, it is there to go in and figure out what is going on in this house. This is the area that you may find in your life where you feel like you have the most pressure, or you feel like you are having the worst kind of luck in this area, or you feel like there's an air of responsibility. This is not the favorite area of your life because Saturn is there. And it's there to whoop you into shape. It is there to look at this area of your life to figure out how can we make this better. Saturn also will come in there and highlight things that you maybe possibly turning a blind eye to, you may be possibly not wanting to deal with. And what Saturn comes in and does is it forces you to address this area of your life. And it's no different with your health. being that the 12 houses in the zodiac represents the different areas in our body, when Saturn comes there, Saturn could come there to set up a situation that forces you to address a medical situation that is going on with you. Saturn does that. Now, Saturn is currently in the sign of Pisces, and it got there March the 7th, 2023. And when we think about Saturn going into the sign of Pisces, one of the things that that Pisces represents is infectious diseases. Pisces will also reflect with regards to health, mysterious types of things, illnesses that pop up that are just very unexpected, or you'll see a lot with illnesses that you go to and you can't get a clear diagnosis. It may take a lot of testing, and may take a lot of visits, a lot of consultation with doctors to figure out what is going on with you. And earlier this year, or either was earlier this year or late last year, I talked about it has to have been last year, when Saturn was going into Pisces, we were going to see a resurgence of COVID. Now, the numbers are up. Our COVID numbers are up. However, they're not being broadcast anymore, because now they really just consider COVID just a more extreme form of the flu. So they're not really addressing COVID like they did during the pandemic. And to be honest with you, the government is not going to shut down again. So they're not going to make a big production. However, the COVID numbers are, they're up. You know, you could probably go ahead and track those things and research what the COVID numbers are in your area, but they are steadily rising. It actually was a period during this year that New York went back on the mask mandate because the numbers had went up so high. So we're still experiencing that. I also talked about between now and maybe in the next year or so, we'll start to see the real results of long COVID. Like, you know, we're going to ultimately see what COVID's, really impact was on people's health for the long haul. We'll also see the results of the vaccine and whether or not there are any adverse reactions or long-term reactions with regards to people that took the vaccine. So that's the kind of things that Saturn and Pisces will do. Saturn and Pisces will also, because Saturn rules time, Saturn and Pisces will bring back illnesses from the past. So I want to say it was late last year, going into the first part of 2023. I actually saw an article about a man that had leprosy. And I didn't even know leprosy was still a thing, because the last time I heard about leprosy was something that was in biblical days. So you'll start to hear or, see articles about people having these illnesses that you probably thought were non-existent anymore, like leprosy or polio or the mumps. I remember I had the mumps when I was little. But things like that kind of happen with this Saturn and Pisces. So with that being said, we're going to talk about, again, how this Saturn is impacting your health, so we can get prepared for the possibility of these things to come up. And even if they don't come up, this could be something that you want to go ahead and get in front of and address, because, again, this is going to be a long cycle. This is going to actually last you until February 13th, 2026. Is how long Saturn is going to be in Pisces, and this is how long the cycle is. So do we have any questions so far? We are always going to start, first things first, at the top of the zodiac. And when I get to your rising sign, let me know I'm at your rising sign and just put it in the chat. All right. So let's start. We're going to start with Aries rising. So if you are an Aries rising, we're going to first talk briefly about the transit, the primary medical information that I want to give you, and then I'll give you the secondary information right after that. So if you're an Aries rising, if you don't have your rising sign, you can listen for your sun sign. but I would like for you to get your rising sign at some point and then come back and listen to the playback of this video so you can get some really detailed information. If you're an Aries rising sun or moon, this transiting Saturn that has been transiting since March 2023 and will continue to early 2026 is impacting the area that governs your 12th house. So what you would need to look out for during this cycle has everything to do with Piscean type things. So if you're an Aries rising, you're going to be paying attention to the health of your feet, bodily fluids, the things that are coming out of our bodies, paying attention to your bodily fluids, probably the color, the odor, the frequency, the consistency of whatever's coming out of your body. You also want to pay attention to your lymphatic system. This is from my Aries rising. Now, I had to look up what the lymphatic system is. So if you're an Aries rising, I have a note here to explain to you what the lymphatic system is. So for my Aries rising, the lymphatic system or lymphoid system is an organ system in vertebrates that is a part of the immune system and complementary to the circulatory system. It consists of a large network of lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, lymph organs, lymph tissues, and lymph. Lymph is a clear fluid carried by lymphatic vessels back to the heart for recirculation. So, for me, this looks like paying attention to swelling in your body for an Aries rising. When I think about the lymph nodes, this is when, you get an infection. And okay, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, the mumps. The mumps is a disease that attacks the lymphatic nodes. So typically when you get the mumps, it's a swelling in these nodes under your neck. So it swells up. A more common thing that you may see with a lymphatic disorder would be lymphedema. So this is the swelling that you see some people have when their legs swell up. I think it has a lot to do with, like, again, the fluid not being carried through the body properly and not being circulated through the body. So it causes the body to swell. So if you are an Aries risings, that would be something that you would look out for over this long period, this cycle. Now, secondary wise, what you may want to also pay attention to is going to be things that have to do with your skin. And we know the skin is the largest organ that we have in the body. Your hair, the health of your hair, your knees, your teeth, your bones, your skeletal systems, your joints, and I think that's just the hard parts of our body. So again, Aries rising, we're paying attention to our feet, especially if you're a diabetic. Pay attention to your feet. A lot of times with diabetics have circulatory issues, and sometimes they have an issue with, I guess, numbness or not having sensitization in their feet. And they could be prone to having a cut or something at the bottom of their feet and not even know it. And it ultimately sets up an infection. So be very mindful of your feet. Again, your bodily fluids, what's coming out of you, paying attention of the color, the odor, the consistency, the frequency of your bodily fluids and your lymphatic system. Okay? So next is going to be Taurus rising. The primary place that I want you to focus on is going to have to do with your lower body. So we're talking about your lower legs, your calves, your ankles, your electrical impulses, your nerves in these areas, your circulatory system, and how your body eliminates waste. Now, of course, it's obvious your lower legs, your ankles, your shins, stuff like that. But when we're talking about impulses of the nerves, I think it has to do with the reaction time. I know when you go to the doctor and you get a physical and the doctor has you sit on the table and he taps you with that little thing on your knee to gauge your responses and your reflexes. So that's the kind of things that we're talking about the nerves in this lower area of your body you need to pay attention to during this cycle. The secondary area that you're also going to pay attention to would be your hips, your thighs, your sciatic nerves. Now, I had to look up, I had to look up what the sciatic nerve was. I thought I knew what it was, but I wanted to verify. So if you are a Taurus rising, the sciatic nerve is the longest and thickest nerve in your body, and it's made up of 5 nerves, nerve roots from your lower back to your sacrum. So I think we're talking about your lower back to kind of like your tailbone in that area. That's the area that you want to pay attention to as well. What else? Again, your lower spine. You're also your liver function. So you want to pay attention to your liver function and your autonomic nervous system. So your nervous system. All right. So if you're a Taurus rising or sun or moon, we are looking at lower leg, calves, ankles, your nerves in those areas of your body, how your body eliminates things, and your circulatory system, along with your hips, thighs, sciatic nerve, your lower spine, your liver, and your nervous system. All right. Next, we're going to be talking about my Gemini rising, and some of you are going to hear an overlap. That's because some of these things are going to overlap to each sign. So you may hear an overlap, but it may vary in intensity. It may go from, this being the primary thing, secondary for one person, and then it vice versa with the other signs. So if you are a Gemini rising, for you, we want you to pay attention to, now you're going to pay attention primarily to your skin, your hair, your knees, your teeth, your skeletal system, the hard parts of your body, okay, your joints and your bones. And then as a secondary for you, you also pay attention to your lower back. The area that you actually need to pay attention to is, because I'm looking at the wrong one for Gemini rising, correction. The secondary would be, again, still the genitals, the groin area, your colon. So some of you will need to probably think about getting a colonoscopy during this time. Your sexual organs, your gallbladder, your rectum, and your urogenital system. I had to look that up, and I'm going to give you the definition of what a urogenital system is. It is the organs that are concerned with reproduction and urinary excretion. Although their functions are unrelated, the structures involved in excretion and reproduction are associated and often use the same common ducts. Okay, so even though that these are two entirely different things, they actually use the same ducts to perform whatever they perform. So your urogenital system could be a secondary issue or a secondary area that could come up for you during this time for my Gemini risings. Do I have any Gemini risings on here? I don't think I do. Oh, my mom is a Gemini rising. So this is for her. So I'm going to say it one more time. If you're a Gemini rising, the primary thing that I want you to pay attention to is your skin, your hair, your knees, your teeth, your skeletal system, the hard parts of your body, your joints. And you're also secondarily going to pay attention to your genitalia, your groin area, your colon, your sex organs, your gallbladder, rectum, and urogenital system. All right, that's for my Gemini risings. Okay, my mama said everything. Pretty much everything. I'll call you later and we'll talk about this later. Okay, I have to give my mama a special reading. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is Cancer rising. I do have a Cancer rising that is close to me. I don't know if she's on this live, but if she is, for this cycle, I want you to pay attention to, let's see, that would be your hips, your thighs, your sciatic nerve, your lower spine, your liver, and your autonomic nervous system. All right, so if you are a Cancer rising, this is the primary focus of what you should be focusing on health-wise for this cycle. On a secondary note, you're going to also take into consideration your lower back, your skin, your external sex organs. Again, these are the organs, the sex organs that are outside of our body, your bladder, your ovaries, and your blood. And like I said before, if you are a Cancer rising, this would be a great time for you to go get blood work done. A lot of things can show up in blood work and can tell you what is going on with you. So to recap, oh, my cousin is an Aquarius rising. Perfect. Okay. Haven't got to you yet. So again, if you are an Aquarius, a Cancer rising, please pay attention to your hips, your thighs, your sciatic nerves, your lower spine, your liver, and your autonomic nervous system, along with your lower back, external sexual organs, your bladder, ovaries, and your blood. All right? So the next one is Leo rising. I am a Leo rising. I think I got a Leo rising on my Instagram. If you're still here, let me know if you're still here. So if you are a Leo rising, your primary focus with regards to your health is going to be your genitals, your groin area, your colon. And, you know, I'm always transparent on here. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy like 2 months ago, and I've been putting it off. So, yeah, I'll be doing a colonoscopy. So your colon, your sex organs, your gallbladder, your rectum, and your urogenital system. All right, that is the primary focus for my Leo risings. Your secondary focus would be your abdomen. Someone said, oh, great. Your abdomen, your intestines, your lower liver, your alimentary canal, and your spleen. Now, I had to look up what the alimentary canal is. So if you're a Leo rising, let me tell you what the alimentary canal is, and you probably need to do some more research. It is a continuous muscular tube that extends from the mouth to the anus and is responsible for digestion and the absorption of food. It's made up of the mouth, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine. The mouth is the uppermost opening of the alimentary canal and is closed by the upper lip and the lower lip. This is where ingestion of food begins. Okay, so basically, because I saw a diagram of it, it's just that your entire digestive system. And like the old people say, like from the rooter to the tutor, so it's from start to finish. So this actually has a lot to do with gut health, because it's a lot about with the small intestines, then the lower intestines, upper intestines. So a lot of our health is in our gut. So for me, as a Leo rising, this interprets to paying attention to our gut health and what we're putting in our body and how our body is absorbing nutrients. Oh, she's a Leo, I have a problem with gut health and acid reflux. This is a time that either you need to address it, or it could come up as something that wants to get your attention. So we would rather, again, be proactive than reactive with that. So a lot of your health is in your gut. So you need to, that's for anybody across the board. But if you're a Leo rising, this will be a time that really getting on top of your gut health would be important. So again, to recap, if you are a Leo rising, your primary focus will be your genitals, groin area, your colon, sex organs, gallbladder, rectum, urogenital system. And you will also be paying attention to your abdomen, your intestines, lower liver, alimentary canal, and your spleen. Somebody look up what a spleen is for me and type it in the chat, because I didn't look that up. I don't even know what a spleen is. So if somebody look that up for me, I appreciate it. Now, The next one is Virgo rising. If you are Virgo rising, your primary focus on health for this cycle will be your lower back, your skin, your external sex organs, so your sex organs outside of the body, your bladder, your ovaries, and your blood. All right. Secondary, you actually will be paying attention to your chest, your upper back, your heart. So your heart health is going to be important. Your spine and your cardiac system. All right. So if you are a Virgo rising, again, we are looking at lower back, skin, external sex organs, bladder, ovaries, and blood, along with your chest, upper back, your heart, your spine, and your cardiac system. That's for my Virgo risings. If you are a Libra rising, do I have a Libra rising on here? I think I do. Your Libra rising, the primary focus for you with health would be your abdomen, your intestines, your lower liver, your alimentary canal, and your spleen. Again, somebody look up what the spleen is, because I need to know what that is. Libra rising, secondary things that you need to pay attention to would include your chest, your breast, your stomach, your uterus, your diaphragm, and your upper alimentary system. All right. So again, if you are a Libra rising, pay attention to your abdomen, intestines, lower liver. The spleen is an organ under the stomach. What does it do though? Somebody said the spleen is a fist-sized organ in the upper left side of your abdomen, next to your stomach and behind your left ribs. But what the hell does it do? Okay. So again, if you're Libra rising, abdomen, intestines, lower liver, alimentary canal, and your spleen. Secondary would be your chest, your breast. So if it's time for a mammogram, make sure you do that. Your stomach, your uterus, diaphragm, and upper alimentary system. The spleen, It's an important part. Okay, so the spleen is an important part of the immune system, but you can survive without it. Okay, great. This is because the liver can take over many functions of the spleen. Okay, all right. You just got a mammogram. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so now I kind of know what a spleen is. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are quick on it. All right. If you are a Scorpio rising, I do have a Scorpio rising in my life. Your primary focus should be your chest, upper back, your heart, your spine, and your cardiac system. Secondary things would include your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your lungs, your nerves, and your nervous system. So now we're getting into the mental health segment. So because this is ruled by Gemini and we're talking about things of the mind and the nervous system, this is addressing your mental health in conjunction with your physical health. So some of my Scorpio risings may be out there having nerve issues or having issues with relaxing, or maybe they're suffering some mental health type issues. This is a time that you should be addressing those. So again, if you are a Scorpio rising, yes, you would be looking at chest, upper back, heart, spine, cardiac system, along with your arms, shoulders, hands, lungs, your nerves, and your nervous system. All right. Do we have, if you're a Sagittarius rising, your primary focus during this cycle should be on your chest, your breast, your stomach, your uterus, your diaphragm, and your upper alimentary system. Now, secondary to that should be your throat, your neck, your vocal cords, your thyroid, and your metabolic system. All right, so now we're talking about your metabolism. Whether your metabolism is slowing down, it's kind of fluctuating. So this is what we need to be focusing on. When it comes to your throat, may have instances of strep throat, laryngitis, maybe repeated sore throats, but something around your throat, your neck, your vocal cords, your thyroid, and your metabolic system. That is for my Sagittarius rising. So Sagittarius rising, one more time: chest, breast, stomach, uterus, diaphragm, upper alimentary system, along with your throat, your neck, your vocal cords, your thyroid, and your metabolic system. All right. Next is Capricorn rising. For my Capricorn rising, you are going to be focusing on arms, your shoulders, your hands, your lungs, your nerves, and your nervous system. And then you're also going to be paying attention to your head, your face, your eyes, your blood, your brain, and your muscular system. So let me see. Did I have to go to muscular system? I think we know the muscular system. Okay, so the muscular system is an organ system consisting of skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscle. It permits movement of the body, maintains posture, and circulates blood throughout the body. All right, so this is for my Capricorn rising. Once again, you're another one that could be dealing with some mental health, some anxiety, some depression, some nervousness, some, maybe disruption in your sleep could come about. So you would want to pay attention to your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your lungs, your nerves, and your nervous system, along with your head, your face, your eyes. Get your eyes checked, your blood, your brain, and your muscular system. That's for my Capricorn risings. Now, for my Aquarius rising, my cousin is an Aquarius rising. This is for you. If you're Aquarius rising, your primary area you need to focus on would be your throat, your neck, your vocal cords, your thyroid, and your metabolic system. Now, secondary would be your feet, body fluids, things that are coming out of your body. Pay attention to the consistency, the color, the smell, the frequency of those things, and your lymphatic system. So again, if you're an Aquarius rising, we want to make sure we're paying attention to our thyroid, our throat, these sore throats that we get repeatedly, your metabolism slowing down, from what it normally is. You also want to make sure that you are paying attention to your feet. Do you need to get some more supportive shoes? It has your arch fallen. Do you, have you been, just feeling like you're having trouble walking, or maybe, your feet are hurting? So paying attention to your feet, the fluids that are coming out of our body, and any swelling in the body. This is going to be important for Aquarius rising to pay attention to that. And finally, last but not least, Pisces rising. I have a Pisces rising close to me too. Where you should primarily focus during this transit is going to be on your head, your face, your eyes, your blood, your brain, and your muscular system. Now, I will say, if we're focusing on those areas, that can also mean some mental health things going on: anxiety, depression, trouble sleeping, headaches. That makes me think of maybe headaches of some sort. So if you're Pisces rising, you would want to primarily focus on that. And secondary to that would be your lower leg, which is like the opposite of your body. Your lower leg, your calves, your ankles, your nerves in those areas, and your circulatory system, and how your body eliminates waste. All right. So again, if you're Pisces rising, head, face, eyes, blood, brain, muscular system, and then your lower leg, your calves, your ankles, your electrical impulses of the nerves in that area, your circulatory system, and how your body eliminates things from it. Okay? Do we have any questions? Now, I don't want y'all to, honestly, I want everybody to be in good health. I don't want any of this stuff to happen to anybody. So it would be fine with me if I was totally wrong about all this information. I would love that. However, if it does help with someone, if it does resonate with someone, if you felt like, yeah, your feet have been bothering you. Yeah, get that checked out. If it does resonate with someone or it makes sense to someone, I, again, want you to take the information and I want you to to use it to help you. Like I tell you all the time, astrology is a tool to help us. It gives us the blueprint. It gives us the support. It gives us the energy. It opens up the opportunity for us to address all kinds of things, not just our health, all areas of our life. So use it as a tool to help you. Now, I will also tell you this. If you are a person of color, primarily, you are in the Black community, we have to advocate for our own health. Unfortunately, medicine does not take us seriously, particularly with Black women. They are still, they were taught in school, medical school, that Black people don't have a high tolerance for pain. And that we don't feel pain like everyone else. So a lot of times still in this system, in the medical system, we're not taken seriously when we come in and we talk about things that are ailing us or something's going on with our body. We are dismissed a lot when it comes to our health. So we have to be our own advocate when we go in to see our doctor. And I got got some advice from someone with regards to how to handle when you're being dismissed in the medical profession. Number one, get you another doctor. First of all, we should be getting doctors that look like us anyway, all right? Because they understand us. And it is what it is. But say, for instance, you go to your doctor and you know something is wrong with you. And you ask your doctor for a test. And if your doctor tells you, oh, you don't need the test, or that's not something that's necessary, your response should be to your doctor, document in my chart that I asked for this test and you refused it. More than likely, your doctor is going to change his mind. Because if it's documented in your chart that you requested this and they refused it, and something were to happen to you later on down the line that could have been prevented by having this test, that is a malpractice suit. Now, I ain't no lawyer, but I got some common sense. And I got some common sense. I think that's a malpractice thing. So be your own advocate. My cousin said, always get a second opinion. Absolutely. You don't have to take the opinion of a doctor. I understand they went to medical school, but don't nobody know your body like you know your body. You know when something is wrong. So again, if you, regardless of who you are, you're going to the doctor, be your own advocate, be assertive and aggressive, especially if you got health insurance. I don't know why the hell they worried about it. Your health insurance is paying for it, so what the hell are they worried about it for? But you got to be your own advocate when it comes to your health and what you need. So again, if they refuse to give you a test, tell them to document that they're refusing the test. More than likely, they're going to change their mind. All right. Do we have any more questions, comments, anything that you want to talk about this evening outside of what we talked about? I think this is pretty good. Like I said, I am not a medical astrologer, so I really can't do too much of that. I'm not even going to tell you that even if you did a detailed reading with me, I could really get into your medical astrology, because I really have not studied it like that. Like I said, I can only tell you some general stuff about what you need to be looking out for. But if you want a medical astrologer, you should research but you should be going to your doctor anyway. So, I'm an advocate for traditional medicine. So go to your doctor, go to your psychologist, you can tell them what I said, but don't take my advice. Don't take my advice. Thanks for joining me. I hope this little bit of information will assist you moving forward. Again, it's a long cycle. It's going to last us until February 2026. So we got a long time. Again, I hope that none of you have any of these health concerns or health issues that we talked about tonight. That is my goal and prayer for you. And if you do, you are armed with the information. Go to your doctor and let's get healthy for next year. So if there's no more questions, I'm not going to hold you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me again. I got to 900 subscribers on my YouTube channel, so I appreciate that. Please pass my information along. I'm going to be putting up the appointments for January. Y'all need to be getting y'all astrology readings for this upcoming year, because there's a lot of big changes coming. So look for those appointments to go up in the next few days. And we will be getting back on our readings. Of course, the mini readings are available when I put them up. And I actually may be available for tomorrow. Let me take a look at and see if I'm going to go to work tomorrow. Y'all know I ain't going to work tomorrow. So look at Instagram, and I'll post it on my story and Facebook and let you guys know that I'll be available tomorrow. If anybody's interested in meeting with me last minute, you know, if I do a last minute reading, you get the special rate. So let me know if you're interested in that once I post it up today. So again, thank y'all so much for always supporting me. I hope you guys have a great holiday season if we don't talk before then. What's my IG? It is Melanin Goddess Life, the same as my Facebook. Again, have a great holiday season. If I do not talk to you again, I cannot wait to see what the new year brings us. It's going to be an awesome new year. We got some really good planetary energy that is changing and shifting. We got something that's happening. We got a planet that's moving, that's been in kind of like in the same position for the last 24 years. So it's about to move. So a lot of things are about to shift, not only for us individually, but for on the collective level. So I'm excited about that. So get your reading so you can find out how this is going to impact you as we move until January. All right. Well, anyway, you guys, I got to go. Talk to you later. Y'all got to have a great rest of your evening. And thank you. See you later.